So in today's video, we're going to look at the MatrixPad S30 10-inch Android tablet by VANKYO. And I paid $149.99 on Amazon, but I'll leave a link in the description below in case that price changes. This is the first tablet I've tried by VANKYO. I have tried a couple of their projectors and they're actually pretty good. So this one does have 32 gigabytes of storage, and you can use a 128 gigabyte micro SD card. It's also got a 13 megapixel rear facing camera and an 8 megapixel front facing camera. This also has Bluetooth 5.0. It does have GPS, dual speakers, and a 6,000 milliamp hour battery. This does have a 10.1 inch IPS screen, octa-core processor. It does come with a removal tool for the micro SD card. Surprisingly, this does come with a USB-C charging brick, quick start guide, and user guide. As for the tablet itself, it actually looks really nice in person. It's got a matte texture to this aluminum style backing, which is going to be really good against fingerprints. And the tablet itself definitely has a little bit of weight to it. And then towards the top is a really unique looking rear facing camera. Power and volume rocker is along the top there. And then along the bottom in landscape mode are your dual firing speakers. And then along the bottom in portrait mode is your headphone jack, USB-C charging port, and your micro SD card tray. And your front facing camera is centered along the top in landscape mode. So it looks like there is an update to optimize the system and minor bug fixes. Looks like this is on Android 9 Pie. This does have 3 gigabytes of RAM. So let's go ahead and do this update, and then I'll give you a few more details of what the software looks like. So the screen on this actually looks pretty decent. You can tell it's not quite as bright as maybe some of the other tablets out there, but still pretty decent in person. And this is only on October 5th, 2019 security patch. So I'm curious to see if this will get security or software updates in the near future. The nice thing is it doesn't look like they put a lot of bloatware on here. Swipe up on the home screen and you'll see all the apps. Swipe to the left and you're going to get the Google News feed, which that's really nice to see. It looks like you can customize the notifications shade a little bit. You can add storage and grayscale as a shortcut. The good thing is it's only using about 6.5 gigabytes of the 32 gigabytes available. So I should have plenty of space to download a couple games and a few other apps that I normally use. You also have a few options for the navigation bar. Pretty typical choices for the lock screen. You've got none, swipe, pattern, pin, and password. And then you've also got face lock and smart lock. You can also tell it when you swipe down to bring up notifications or open search. Okay, so one thing I noticed right off the bat is it does seem to struggle here trying to play a YouTube video while it's downloading a game in the background. One thing that could be slowing this tablet down is pretty much all the apps need updated. Here's a quick size comparison against the Galaxy Tab A 10.1. You can see they're about the same height, but the MatrixPad S30 is just a little bit wider. So of course, pretty common in cheaper tablets, you're only going to get standard definition in apps like Netflix. Another thing is the speakers seem a little on the low side to me, but I would probably be using headphones most of the time anyways while watching videos. Nice and smooth with no lag or choppiness, which is good to see on cheaper devices. I also tested PUBG Mobile for a while and it played nice and smooth as well. The graphics were on HD with high frame rates. Okay, Wi-Fi speeds seem pretty good on here. Okay, so the camera on here definitely isn't that great. The detail isn't that bad. It's just that it takes a little while for the camera to process, which I don't think is that big a deal. I don't think that many people are gonna be using their cameras on their tablets anyway. But here's a couple examples just to give you an idea. Unfortunately, when you search for Asphalt 9, it's not going to be available, which is probably a good sign that this isn't going to be a powerful device for gaming. I also tested out this tablet on some games like PUBG Mobile, and even though this is one of the lowest graphics settings I've played with on any of my tablets, it surprises me that it still played pretty good. You will notice in certain areas where the grass sort of flickers or changes to black, but other than that, once the game started up, it actually ran pretty smooth. I was getting a little concerned, but it actually played this game smoother than I thought it would. Now, when I tried Call of Duty Mobile, it actually played a little better than PUBG Mobile, but maybe that game is a little more optimized. It again was on the lowest graphics settings. You also have to be looking pretty much straight forward at the tablet because the screen doesn't have the best viewing angles. Just something to keep in mind. Either way, I was glad to see I could play both games, even if not at the highest quality graphics settings. I also did a battery drain test with the screen at 100% while streaming video to see how long the battery lasted. It lasted just a little over 5 hours, which is actually below average compared to some of the other tablets that I've tested. I was definitely expecting it to be a little bit better. I think some of my other tablets usually range around 6 or so hours. Then to charge the tablet back up, it took about 4 hours to go from 0 up to 100%. And I thought my new iPad was slow at charging at 3 to 3.5 hours. If you're just reading books or browsing the internet, I think this tablet's gonna be plenty fast enough for most people. And yes, this technically works with a capacitive stylus. However, I definitely would not recommend this for drawing or anything art related. So while there's definitely some positives about this budget Android tablet, it definitely leaves a lot to be desired. If you need something to stream videos from Netflix, YouTube, Disney Plus, etc., well, this is decent at doing those as long as you use headphones. But just barely being able to play some games that I typically play makes me hesitate on recommending this one. And if it was up to me, I'd probably go with a tablet from Lenovo or Samsung. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from FishBee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.